Hello there, a very good morning. This is the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. We're coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. As always, we are ready with the details on this morning's top local, international and sports news items. Do stay tuned with us for the news in detail. We start off with news here at home. The Department of Irrigation reports that with the onset of extreme rainfall, sluice gates of 22 large-scale reservoirs have by now been opened. Among these, reservoirs such as Lunugambehira, Beheragala, Minneria and Kantale are included. The department also stated that the sluice gates of 13 medium-scale reservoirs have also been opened. Meanwhile, showers or thunder showers will occur at most places of the island during the afternoon or night. Showers may occur in the southern and western provinces and in the Puttlam district during the morning. Heavy falls of about 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, Uba, eastern and north central provinces. As always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Also, misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central and Uba provinces during the morning hours. With that, we move on to more local news. A discussion between a delegation of the European Union and a Ministry of Finance officials is scheduled to take place today at the Presidential Secretariat. During this visit, the European Union representatives are expected to review several matters, including the GSP Plus concession. On to a series of election-related news now. The National Election Commission says that the sealed packages containing postal ballot papers that were marked on the 24th and 25th of April will be transported by election officials. Its chairman, RMAL Ratnayaka, said that the decision was made to ensure faster transportation of these packages. He added that once sorted in Colombo, the sealed ballot paper packages will be redistributed to the respective districts. The Commission also confirmed that postal ballots marked on the 24th and 25th of April have already been handed over to district returning officers. The National Election Commission also announced that the postal ballot papers marked on the 24th and 25th have already been handed over in this manner. Meanwhile, voters who have not yet received their official polling cards for the local government election can now collect them from their nearest post office. Deputy Postmaster General Premchandra Herat stated that the home delivery of official polling cards was concluded yesterday. He further mentioned that 97% of official polling cards were successfully delivered during this distribution process, and the remaining 3% can now be collected starting today from your nearest postal office. Now, the printing of official ballot papers for the local government election has been completed. Chairman of the National Election Commission, RMAL Ratnayaka, stated that all official ballot papers have now been sent to the district secretariats. He further mentioned that the ballot papers have been securely stored under special protection in sealed packets. A total of 17,296,330 voters are eligible to cast their votes in this upcoming local government election. Meanwhile, the People's Action for Free and Fair Elections, or the PAFREL organization, says that the postal voting process for the local government election has been concluded peacefully. Its executive director, Rohan Hettiarachi, made this statement during a media briefing that was held yesterday. He said that according to their observations, postal voting related to the local government elections concluded in a very peaceful manner. Hettiarachi noted that over the course of 4 days, more than 600 voters had successfully cast their postal votes. He further explained that in Kandy, special voting centers were operated for security personnel who were assigned for duties concerning the Siri Dalada Vandanava that concluded on the 27th. He observed that postal voting was conducted peacefully at all those centres as well. While mentioning that there were some variations over different days, he emphasised that unlike in the previous elections, this time an even election-related campaigning around polling centres was notably absent. He said that only a few minor incidents were reported, adding that overall the postal voting process had been carried out in a calm and orderly manner. Hettiarachchi highlighted that the voter turnout was also commendable, with initial reports indicating a 60% participation rate and that almost every eligible postal voter was able to exercise their franchise during this postal vote. Let's move on to more local news now. The International Monetary Fund has emphasized the urgent need for the Sri Lankan government to implement critical reforms related to electricity cost recovery pricing and the automatic electricity price adjustment mechanism. This was announced during a virtual press conference held yesterday.
Zulfazan from Newsfirst here. The conditions of the fourth review include implementing 5 actions related to electricity cost recovery pricing and ensuring that the automatic electricity price adjustment mechanism functions properly. In your meetings with the government, do you see this realizing anytime soon? Because according to the statement that was released earlier, it says that this condition is yet to be met.
The issue of electricity is one where both the government and us see eye to eye, and there's strong commitment in seeing these reforms take place, because as you know very well, electricity and dependability of electricity and the high prices of electricity have been an issue for a very long time in Sri Lanka. So government is committed to taking the reforms and owning those reforms and making significant progress. So yes, during the review mission discussions that we had in Colombo earlier in April, earlier this month, and here in Washington last week, we discussed many issues. Our assessment is, as early as back in February, when we went to the board for our third review, our assessment at the time, and still is the same, is that the continuous structural benchmark on electricity cost recovery pricing is still not met. And that means that the price of the tariff, it does not create enough of a ability for the utility, for the CEB, to be able to meet its costs, the generation costs and transmission and distribution. In addition to that, the automatic tariff adjustment mechanism, based on the bulk supply transaction account, the BSTA, has not operated as we envisaged, and the April tariff revision that was meant to take place for the second quarter of this year was not implemented. So, as a result of that, given the criticality of electricity cost recovery and under the program, we have proposed, IMF has proposed the introduction of prior actions related to restoring electricity cost recovery pricing and ensuring proper function of the automatic electricity price adjustment mechanism, the BSTA that I mentioned a few moments ago. The implementation of these prior actions is an important milestone, so it's a requisite, if you will, for the completion of the fourth review. And in terms of the timing, there was a question. Of course, we defer to the authorities and to the regulator, the PUCSL, on the exact timing for implementing these actions, these prior actions. But we urge them to do so as soon as possible, so that the utility company CEB is not incurring financial losses on a forward-looking basis. In other words, the authorities should avoid a situation where debt is building up at the CEB, so that the utility company does not become again a significant contingent liability to the government and a burden to the taxpayers, so it doesn't become a fiscal drag. I think this is well understood by the authorities. It has been explained time and again. It's a core pillar of the program that once it is resolved and properly held, it will help fiscal sustainability, and it will make electricity price generation more dependable. And down the road, this will allow for more stability, for more investment, and for the necessary steps to see electricity prices come down.
On to our final local news item this morning. Sri Lanka police says that 7 suspects have been arrested between midnight on the 27th of April and midnight on the 28th of April. That is the 24-hour time window in connection with various investigations. According to police, 4 of the arrests were related to cyber crimes during this period. Meanwhile, the Criminal Investigation Department has arrested 2 suspects in connection with murder investigations. In addition, police stated that investigations have also been launched against 13 other suspects who are currently being held under detention orders. Moving on to news overseas. Shifting your attention to the United States, US President Donald Trump signed a pair of orders to soften the blow of his auto tariffs on Tuesday with a mix of credits and relief from other levies on materials. And his trade team touted its first deal with a foreign trading partner. The developments helped ease some investor worries about the erratic trade policies of Trump as the president visited Michigan, a cradle of the U.S. auto industry, just days before a fresh set of 25% import taxes was set to kick in on automotive components. The trip, on the eve of his 100th day in office, came as Americans take an increasingly dim view of Trump's economic stewardship, with indications his tariffs will weigh on growth and could drive up inflation as well as unemployment. In his latest partial reversal of tariff policies, the Republican president agreed to give car makers 2 years to boost the percentage of domestic components in vehicles assembled domestically. It will allow them to offset tariffs for imported auto parts used in U.S. assembled vehicles, equal to 3.75% of the boat value of the manufacturer's suggested retail price of vehicles they built in the U.S. through April 2026 and the 2.5% of U.S. production through April 2027. Auto industry leaders had lobbied the administration furiously during the weeks since Trump first unveiled his 25% tariffs on imported vehicles as well as auto parts. The levies, aimed at forcing automakers to reshow manufacturing domestically, had threatened to scramble a North American automotive production network integrated across the US, Canada, as well as Mexico. And finally, on to sports news this morning. In sports, it's cricket. The 48th match of the Indian Premier League cricket tournament held in Delhi, Kolkata Knight Riders defeated Delhi Capitals by 14 runs. Delhi Capitals, having won the toss, elected to field first. Kolkata's top order collapsed at 91 for 3 in the power play. Ankush Raghuvanshi led the leading score with 44 runs, while Rinku Singh contributed 36. Mitchell Starc claimed 3 wickets and Dushmanta Chamira took 1. Kolkata Knight Riders posted 204 for 9 in their 20 overs. In response, Faf du Plessis top scored with 62 and captain Aksar Patel added 43 for the Delhi Capitals. However, disciplined bowling from Kolkata's pace attack prevented them from reaching this target. Sunil Narine picked up 3 wickets and Varun Chakravarti dismissed 2. Chasing 205, Delhi Capitals managed 190 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs, falling 14 runs short. And that's a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. Do join us once again tomorrow as well for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.